Awesome. Welcome, Stephanie. I'm so excited to chat with you today about grant writing and your journey. Um, yeah, I'm just so excited. Welcome. So, first off, why did you choose to learn grant writing? What brought you to this world?
Um, I do a lot of nonprofit work, and it just seemed to be this like huge, just elusive like skill that no one could quite seem to do, or we didn't have anyone available to do it. Um, and it was just this giant secret skill. And so I was just like, well, why not learn how to do it then? And so I just started researching, and here I am.
That's amazing. So, what kind of work did you do with nonprofits, or do you do with nonprofits?
Um, I'm mainly focused in domestic violence, sexual assault organizations, and that is just where my whole heart and passion is. And um, so I've done, full in, almost full time job kind of hours volunteering with nonprofits for the last like 5 or so years.
That is incredible. That's a lot of time to volunteer. That's amazing.
I love it.
Um, Are you that's so cool. So why did you choose to become a grant writing consultant and take your career that way versus maybe finding a job at a nonprofit?
Um, well, it so happens that I just kind of accidentally do both now. Um,
Yay! Well, that's exciting.
Yes, but my husband has a business as a consultant for emergency services, emergency planning, and things like that for nonprofits. And our worlds just kind of mesh as far as working with nonprofits. And so we just threw that. And so I just kind of hopped in on that bandwagon, I guess, and so that I can offer services as well. So.
Amazing. So what do you tell me about your job and then tell me about your clients and the work that you're doing with consulting.
So basically, now I'm working with our local domestic violence organization. It's the only one in our county. We offer
Mhm.
help to domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and we're the only ones in the county. So there's a lot of work, and there's a huge need. We are what's considered a tier one county. So we're a very
Oh,
poor, low income county. And which unfortunately, kind of makes our domestic violence numbers a little higher
mhm.
than maybe some other counties. And with the money that we raise and we earn and we find,
Mhm. Yeah.
it just affords us the ability to offer shelters to more people. If there's men, we put them in a hotel, just because we can't have men and women in the shelter together. But it just allows us to give those resources to people, and help them through the court system and things like that. So I love it.
Amazing.
um,
I have a random question. Do you allow animals to come with either the women or the men when they leave their current situation and come to the shelter?
yeah, I think that they do. In the time that I've been there, I don't know that I've heard anybody bringing any animals, but I
Mhm.
haven't heard that they're not allowed either.
Yeah,
Um,
I was just curious.
yeah, I know that is honestly like a hard one, is that animals aren't allowed,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
these victims of domestic violence don't want to leave for fear of
Yes.
their pet's life. And
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
yeah, we do everything we can to get people to a safe location if they need it and want it. So, mhm.
That's amazing. So, um, a grant writing probably fits in that really well. Does tier one mean that you can get grant funding more easily, or does that help you get more government funding or anything with that status?
Yes to both,
Okay.
because we're able to show we have a huge need.
Mhm.
Um, and so I guess maybe I don't know outside of the tier one, but it does seem to be something important that we include every single time,
Yeah.
um, because that just does show that much more of a need and that much more
Yeah.
of an impact in our community. So,
Amazing. So cool. You're doing incredible work. So do you have clients with your consulting practice then too that you're working with?
um, yes, and I find myself kind of drawn. same concept, same thing.
Mhm.
My first client, I guess, was a brand new mental health organization, and they are wanting to do mental health care differently, not just to sit in the office and talk to somebody, but take it outside and learn new skills in the process and just kind of make it more of a comfortable place to really find healing. And so that was really exciting. But I do tend to find myself more drawn to like the mental health and the domestic violence survivors and things like that. Um, my husband does a lot of work with the Performing Arts Center, and so they have started reaching out as well. And because they need grant writers and they need to find money in that realm too. But yeah, my heart is wholly towards the survivors and mental health.
I love that is really cool. I am really inspired by all of the organizations who are taking a different look at mental health and saying, yeah, let's do go outside, right? We
Mhm.
know that looking at green like invigorates our senses. So let's go outside and do some work. That's really cool. Amazing. So what is your proudest accomplishment thus far in your grant writing journey?
Um, Honestly, I think some people would probably say getting money, but for me, I'm very introverted and I don't really care for social situations. So reaching out to nonprofits for the informational interviews and like actually like being able to send that email and being able to make that call, and then sitting on a video, that is just not something that I would have done before. Um, but I guess, kind of needs to happen now. But the fact that I was able to just kind of cross that hurdle and like conquer that fear of like just talking to people, I would say is my biggest accomplishment beyond, the grants, which I love to get and I love to help. But personally, like conquering that fear was huge.
Yes, it's giant. I mean, it's just yay. I am so proud. Yes, you should be proud. I am proud. What were there any tips and tricks that you kind of did for yourself during that? If you get a moment of anxiety or you get a moment of fear, what do you do to kind of bring yourself back down and move forward?
Um, One, I knew that I really want to do the grant writing. And so it was just a necessary step. The Unicorn Collective, like the whole group, like being able to hear other people's stories and see their
Mm.
success. And it's like you have your own little pile of cheerleaders just, encouraging you. And if, I remember putting on there, like I had scheduled my first informational interview and, so everyone's cheering you on. And it's like, okay, well, now I have to do it. Like, I can't. Um, and so just kind of having that encouragement there, I think was huge. It kind of felt like accountability, but um, just knowing that if I fell flat on my face, like it was gonna be okay.
Yeah.
um, and if I didn't, like, and it came out great, like I'd have people there to celebrate with me too. So
Mhm.
um, I think that really helped kind of just go over that hump. So
Yay. Oh, that makes my heart so happy. Wonderful. So how many informational interviews have you had, do you think?
I don't know, maybe 10 or less, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Um, I did start reaching out to a bunch of veteran organizations because
Oh,
I'm a
neat.
disabled vet. And so, um, which got me down the track of like the service dog
Mhm.
organizations that get them free to vets and things. And then I realized that I was gonna like try to adopt all these dogs. And so I kind of had to like bring myself back in. um, yeah, so at the moment, I'm really busy with the projects that I have on hand with
Cool.
some um, another domestic violence organization plus the
Mhm.
one that I'm at now. So I haven't done any in a while just because I've been pretty busy. So I
That's the
haven't.
point, right? That is so cool. Do you have a service dog or an
Um, she,
adopted dog?
she is retired. She is almost 16 years old now,
Oh
and
my gosh.
so yeah, just so everything, I'm in a place now that like she doesn't need to work like she did. And so which is a great, huge success in itself. But yeah, so now she's just old and lazy and hanging out and enjoying life. And so,
I love that. 16 is so old. You get to pamper her in her last little
oh,
years.
yes, yes.
Aw, that is so sweet. And before I forget, thank you so much for your service. It is amazing to us and to make sure that our country remains free. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So what are some key takeaways that you have from learning with us, with the collective?
Oh, everything. That it's doable, that it's
Mhm.
attainable, and like it's not some big super secret, I don't know, like the super secret, like superheroes, like, underground superheroes hiding. Um, and so I had actually like researched a whole bunch of different places online. I did the free videos and I was like, okay, like I can get on board with this. It wasn't like super serious. It was fun. Meredith made it really fun.
Mhm.
And then I read the book and I listened to it on, on Spotify, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Um, and I finally just pulled the trigger on it. And I was like, okay, this is like, it was more than I ever, I guess, expected it to be.
Mhm.
I'm very checklist and I guess checklist oriented. And the
Mhm.
way all the information is displayed works really well with my brain.
Yay.
Yeah, and it has just made it gone from like this overwhelming idea of like this grant world to
Mhm.
taking it step by step with so much information, like to make it happen in the process. Just makes it a lot less scary. And a
Oh,
lot
that makes
of fun,
me
really.
yay. Oh, that makes me so happy. Very cool. So, what would you tell someone considering joining the Grant Writing Unicorn Collective?
Do it. um, you won't be like disappointed at all. Um, I actually, I guess I won't name drop or anything, but I went to a university for
Mhm.
grant writing,
Nice.
and I also did the collective, and I got way more information from
Wow.
from the collective and way more help than I ever like from the university. Like it just
Mhm.
doesn't even touch it, doesn't compare. Um, it's way cheaper. So,
Yeah.
and I have the support afterwards. So
Mhm.
like as scary as it is or can be, or I don't know enough to get started kind of situation,
Yeah.
like there's a whole pile of people just to cheer you on and help you out, and it's incredible. Like I love it.
Ah, yay. Um, okay, so but I know that we can continue supporting you and serving you. So what is one thing that we can do to continue supporting you, or any kind of general piece of feedback you have for us?
um I don't know, I think the first grant's always like it's so scary, and
Mhm.
um I would say I don't know if it's a like OJT, I don't know, like on the job training, like
Yeah.
to be able to kind of see you guys in action and kind of see
Mhm.
like how
Mhm.
that process works firsthand. Um, maybe.
Yeah.
I just have the personality like oh, I have to know it all before I do anything. Like, because if I don't
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
everything, then I don't know anything. And but as I got into it, I realized like, whoa, like I really do know a lot.
You do know a lot.
So like the course like provided so much information, and I didn't realize like how much I knew until I got into
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Um, and so I don't, maybe just seeing you guys like in action
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
helpful and
We
confident.
are absolutely. So one of the things we want to do is Meredith actually has, she's going to present a funding strategy to a city commission.
Mhm.
And so we're hoping to record that meeting so that you could even see how like you can present your work to different, you know, big
Mhm.
organizations or different groups of people, even beyond like how do you manage a meeting with a couple of people.
Mhm.
So definitely, we can definitely do some more videos like that where we can intersperse them in the
Mhm.
course.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's a great idea. So I know you said that you didn't want to talk, or that your proudest accomplishment wasn't the money that you've won with your grants for your organizations, but do you want to brag a little bit and share some of your successes with your grants?
Um, I guess initially, like I was kind of afraid to celebrate it because
Mhm.
it was like a grant renewal. Um,
Okay. You
and
still did the work. You still did the work.
I didn't feel like that counted. Um, and so I've been able to I've been working with
Mhm.
another person in the office to write the grants. And so he and I kind of were able to build off each other, um, and proofread and edit. And so you really just kind of have that buddy.
Yeah,
Um, but gosh, I should have written it down.
it's okay. I
Let's
threw this question at you,
I
so
think I think the first grant was like 40,000.
awesome.
Um, and so I actually just submitted, we just submitted uh, a Major League Baseball grant. And so it's
Ooh,
one that isn't government. It is a new one. And so we should find out in a couple weeks if we got it. And so I'm pretty excited that Major League Baseball has put out millions of dollars this last couple years to help
wow.
specifically for domestic violence and sexual assault. So,
Wow,
um,
wow, wow. That's so cool.
yeah. So I guess maybe I'm most proud of that one because
Yeah.
it was a new find. It was a
Mhm,
new grant instead of a renewal.
mhm.
Um, but I guess I'm proud we didn't lose the renewals either. So
Yes, that is, it is pretty critical to not lose the renewals. So that's a yes, you should celebrate. And I can't wait to hear about the Major League Baseball grant. How fun. That's amazing. Well, thank you so, so much. I have loved this conversation.
thank you.